Would you like to see football wherever you are in the world?
With NordVPN, you can get premium protection online and set your location so you never miss a minute of the content you usually enjoy.
Go to nordvpn.com/TSUW to get 72% off a 2-year plan plus 3 additional months absolutely free. Good evening, Blades. Look at the smile on my face. I'm absolutely buzzing. Sheffield United have just beaten, let's be honest, a poor Bristol City side 2-0. Could have been hatful. Could have been 7-8, 9-0, something like that. Saying that, probably the first big chance, first shot on target, I believe, was a Bristol City header that 𝐍𝐸𝐲𝐸𝐶 made a great save. It was an easy save, but it was a great save nonetheless. Just before that, Morgan Gibbs-White spinning his man, crossing the ball on a plate for Brewster completely. I think went through his legs. Just after that, Stevens through one-on-one, tries to pass the ball to Brewster. It gets deflected. We had so many opportunities so early, and I thought, oh no, is it one of them days where we're going to create so many chances, but not actually create any chances, if you know what I mean? That's what we've kind of done under Slav, where we've had a lot of the ball, we've got into some good areas, but that final ball's just not been good enough, or that second to final ball, if you like, because the final ball's not been good enough, but we weren't actually creating the chances to actually play that incisive through ball or that good cross. But today they were just all fantastic. There were 2 players that I would say had up and down games, but we'll get onto that. In the 10th minute, Conor Hourihane brought down just outside the box. He got absolutely poleaxed by their player. And I thought Morgan Gibbs-White was going to curl one into the top bins. Turned out that Hourihane took the free kick, just hit the wall, and it probably would have been a good free kick, but it was constant pressure. Like I said, the only real chance they had in that first half was that header that 𝐍𝐸𝐶 saved. I think it was actually a bit later than what I actually thought. But 12th minute, great ball from Morgan Gibbs-White through to Bogle. Ball pulled back, and Brewster, it looked like he missed a sitter. Like it just took a few bobbles. And he just stood there right in front of the goal, and he just hacked it wide. I don't know quite what it kind of looked like because they didn't show us on the highlights. And obviously, I was at the game. Also, today, when without any colours on, I go through these stages where I wear different shirts to try and get a bit of look. And today I thought, right, I've wore every shirt under the sun in Slav's reign. Let's go for plain Jane going to the match. And we won a game. So looks like I'm not going to be wearing a shirt until we lose. But it was just a fantastic day. It was freezing cold. It took ages to get home. But I don't care. I would much rather be one of these fans that go to every single game, freeze my arse off, as long as I see us win a game. If we won every game to the end of the season, I won't care if it takes me 40 minutes to get home in the snow or I'm freezing in the stands. All I care about is the Blades winning. And today was fantastic. It was like we were back to our old selves. It's like Hecky's given us our identity back. It's just fantastic. And I know it was only Bristol City, but under Slav, we'd have probably struggled to finish him off today. And I did think we were going to struggle to finish him off before the 89th minute where Billy Sharp put the ball in the back of the net. But we didn't. We did it. We got away. And the thing was, the frustrating thing was that we could have won that game, like I said, 4-5, 6-0, if a few things would have gone our way. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We won the game 2-0. We missed loads of chances, and we still won the game by more than 1 goal, which we've not seen from a Slav side in such a long time. So well done, Hecky. Well done, Stuart McCall. Well done, Jack Lester, for giving us our identity back. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, yeah, like I said, lots and lots of chances. Looked like Didsey missed a bit of a sitter in the first half where the ball came across and he diving header and it somehow went that way. Loads and loads of things happened in the first half. I wrote so many notes down for every single chance, and it's like, there's so many to go through. We might as well just move on up to the goal, because here we go. Hourihane trickling shot, stopped by the goalkeeper. 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐍 blocked shot. There's so many things on here until the 40th minute. Conor Hourihane gets the ball. Stevens makes the run through. And all he needs to do is lay it through to Stevens. And you're like, oh, come on, be quicker, be quicker. Because Stevens was through on goal, one-on-one, but he'd had that earlier on in the game. And he tried to play the ball across to Brewster, and it didn't reach him. So Hourihane picks the ball up, doesn't play him through, which I thought the chance had completely gone. He stopped, checked back. Stevens got into a better position. He played the ball into Stevens. Stevens played the ball into Brewster. It looked very, very, very rigid. And it was just like, pass straight. And I'm like, there's no movement here. It's just going pass. And Brewster picks the ball up, swivels on it, smashes it in the bottom corner. That is what we want to see. What a finish from Brewster. That's what it was bought here. That's what he was brought here for. And that was he was bought to do. Score goals. And those are the sort of goals that we need our strikers to be scoring. Turns on it, bang, bottom corner. I'm not saying Bruce had the best game, but he certainly had a better game than he has done probably all season. That was probably Bruce's best game of the season. And I'm not saying it was a great game. I think he'll get better and better. But for me, that was probably his best game. You probably could say that about Brewster, about Hourihane, 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐍. Loads of players today had their best game. And yeah, it's great to see. Anyway, we're going to half time. It's absolutely freezing in the stands, guys. If you weren't there, it was freezing. I've not been that cold in a very, very long time. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're 1-0 up. High hopes all around the stadium. And then really early on into the second half, I think it was like the 50th to 55th minute, a big injury to Baker for Bristol City. They both go for the header. I'm not too sure what actually happened, but it looked to me like Chris Basham had headed his head. The other way around, because Basham won the ball. So Basham comes up, boom, big header. And then Baker I think he goes into the side of him and he goes flat down. And their physio was on straight away. He even launched his bag so that he could get there a little bit quicker. I'm not sure if that actually saved him too much time, but it was great to see a physio being straight on and not caring about the referees. Like, get him on quick. But no, he was down for what seemed an eternity. Eventually was brought off. He got a big, big clap from the fans. And what made me laugh was about 5 minutes after the injury, and we're all clapping him off. And then Gary Sinclair said, we hope all the best for Bristol City player, blah, blah, blah. All the Blades clapping him off and cheering and stuff like that. And then within about 2 minutes, Bristol City was singing about Sheffield being a SHIT hole and stuff like that. And it's like, we've literally just clapped your player off. We've literally just given him all this respect and then boom, straight into it. But that's football fans for you. What I didn't remember to say about that first half was the fact that Bristol City picked up about 4 yellow cards, all for stupid things. I don't know what Piggy Pearson was telling them to do, but they were literally from minute one trying to waste time, trying to just get under our skin, kicking the ball away. I think it was Basham who had the ball in his hands and their player just ran past and just slapped it out of his hands. It's like, why are you trying to get booked? I don't get it. Like, you're putting yourself on a booking for the rest of the game. This is in the first half. This is probably in the first 20, 25 minutes. Didn't really get that at all. And I don't think they really thought that through, in all honesty. We were playing out of our skins. So just putting them on bookings for all the rest of the game was just a little bit silly, I thought. But yeah, lots of kicking the ball away. But then in the second half, we probably kicked the ball away 3 or 4 times, and the referee didn't give us any sort of card. So I don't know. Referees are just really, really inconsistent across England, you could probably say, not just in this country. But yeah, after that, I think it took us a bit to get back into the game because we were so buzzed after that first half. I think we came into the second half the same. And then after that injury, obviously it said 13 minutes after the game. It could have been more, it could have been less, but a good between 10 and 15 minutes where the players were freezing cold. We were cold in the stands. Imagine the players, after running around like madmen, having to just stand still. And obviously they got balls on the pitch, passing the ball around and stuff. But yeah, 10, 15 minutes of not playing football where you can cramp up and stuff like that. We didn't quite get back into it as quickly as we would have liked, but we certainly did. Morgan Gibbs-White gets the byline yet again with some great. He just slid away from his man, the man that came on for Baker. He just slid away from him and got to the byline. Little clip into the box. Brewster heads it towards goal, and it's really well blocked. Brewster came off round about that time as well. I don't know what happened to him, but he picked a knock up. And I saw him at the other side of the pitch just struggling a little bit. And then I think probably 5 minutes later, he was down on the floor and he came off. So hopefully Brewster's back for the next game. We need him firing on all cylinders. We can't have him scoring a goal and then getting injured and not playing for 3 or 4 weeks. So we need Brewster back. He's just scored a goal. He's scored 2 in a few games now. So yeah, let's get Brewster scoring more and more goals. I think it was the right thing to do, bringing Hecky in, because that's 2 up front straight away. That's 2 strikers we're using. We're bringing another one off the bench. And all 3 strikers today were involved in goals. So you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. 72nd minute, Morgan Gibbs-White wriggles through again. He's through not one-on-one. There was a defender just to the side of him, but he manages to get a snapshot away with his left foot straight at the goalkeeper, though. And let's be honest, Bentley, I've forgotten his first name, the goalkeeper for Bristol City. I have always thought he is absolutely rubbish, and I've never seen him have one good game. To be honest, he didn't really pull off any saves that I didn't expect him to make. The one from Morgan Gibbs-White that I was just talking about that was straight at him was straight at him. He did all right, I suppose, to make himself big, but it was straight at him, and that was Morgan Gibbs-White day to day. Everything he did was absolutely fantastic, except for his shot, which was quite amusing at times, obviously, when we were winning. But incredible. Like, in the first half, he'd pick the ball up, he'd have 2 men round him, and he'd just either flick it through one of the legs or he'd flick it in between them and run through. Like, that was his best game today, Morgan Gibbs-White. Another one, best game. It was on fire. And I was a little bit worried about Morgan Gibbs-White with this swap, because he's obviously come in because he knows that Slav is kind of known for taking teams up from the Championship to the Premier League. Slav teams are attacking minded. And then going from that to a manager that hasn't managed, obviously managed us at the back end of the Premier League season, but hasn't managed a first team for such a long time. He's been involved with the youngsters for a while. I could see other players kind of going into the shell and being like, oh, I didn't sign up to play for this guy. I wanted to play for the other guy who plays attacking football. And he was completely the opposite. I was worried whether he was going to be less not attacking. I don't know what the word is, but he had so much freedom today on that right-hand side. I thought he was going to play in the Duffy role just behind the front 2. I'm still not 100% sure what the formation was, what it looked like. Let's say it's 5 at the back. Then it seems like Morgan Gibbs-White kind of played on the sort of right wing. And then you had your 2 central midfielders with McGoldrick kind of just linking up the play. So it kind of looks like a 5, a 3 that was kind of Morgan Gibbs-White on the right wing, and then the other 2 kind of central, and then 𝐍𝐸 just behind Brewster. It was a weird formation anyway, but it absolutely worked. Like I said, I know it's only Bristol City, but if we can keep on like this, keep the players fit, 𝐍𝐸 played out of his skin today. it's exciting. It's exciting football. We've got our identity back. We're playing great football. We're dying for each other. We're sticking the boot in. It's great. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Anyway, after that, Bogle could have got a penalty. I'm not too sure. 75th minute. I'm not sure whether it was in the box or just outside the box, but he fell outside the box. I think he was looking for the ball and someone just clipped him. And I don't think we're going to see this on I don't know if Quest do a Sunday night, but I don't know if we definitely didn't see it on the Sky Sports highlights. But for me, that could have easily been a penalty. Billy Sharp bicycle kick on the 82nd minute, great ball into the box, but just hit it too much into the ground. It gave the keeper enough time to kind of get across and tip it over the bar. Really, really simple save for Bentley. In the 83rd minute, though, this is the thing. Bristol City broke away nearly. If they'd have been better, I think Bash that got back and got a foot in. But they were really we were all over the place at that point. We were just trying to go for that second goal so much that we just got caught on the break. And then it was recycled, and then ball come into the box, nearly an own goal, but Wes stopped it. Another good game for Wes today. I think one in the second half. I think it was the second half. He just kind of fumbled, just went in front of him. But it was a slippy surface. It's a difficult surface as a goalkeeper when the ball's skidding off and he's trying to hold on to it because he's got wet gloves as well. Wet ball, wet gloves, wet football boots, wet ground. It's all adds together to cause havoc for goalkeepers. But no, I think he had a good game today. And then I've written 89th minute, Mick Legend absolutely runs the show. And then pinpoint cross for Sharp to volley home. Now, Mick Legend, I think people may know, if you've watched this channel before, that I absolutely love David McGoldrick. David McGoldrick. What an absolute fantastic game he had today. And that goal was all him. Billy Sharp's goal was all him. He picks the ball up on the left-hand side, runs with the ball across the ground, passes it into, I think it was into Norwood, and he made a run round the defence. Norwood slides him in, ball to the ball right in the 6-yard box, and Billy Sharp finishes it easily. Great move. That's one of the best. You could probably say that's on par with the goal that Moose scored against Stoke with how good the play was. Brilliant ball from Norwood as well. We can't deny how good that ball back to McGoldrick was from Norwood. But it just proves all those people that wrote David McGoldrick off just because he wasn't playing that well in a Slav system. Look at him. When he's got the freedom to play up front and link the play, he doesn't disappoint. Now, don't get me wrong, he'll have a not quite as good game every now and then, but David McGoldrick needs to be in and around this team as much as possible. And I think that he's got many years to come, many years to come. Same with Billy Sharp. I think Billy Sharp, maybe it is him coming off the bench and trying to score a goal like he did today. Maybe Billy Sharp gets an odd start here or there. We've got loads of other strikers as well. It would be nice to see Brewster and McGoldrick get some sort of partnership together with Sharp coming off the bench like what it happened today. But we'll have to see. We've got Moose coming back. We've got McBurney that will be in the side at some point this season. We've got a whole load of players, exciting players. Like we've said, this team is not a bad team. These players are not bad players. They just need kind of G'ing up. And they were certainly G'd up today. And if we can go on a 3 or 4 game, I'm not saying winning run, but not losing, like we've done 3 games already. 2 under Slav and then obviously a win today. But we certainly weren't playing well under Slav. And today, if you ignore the Peterborough game where I thought the football was absolute sublime, that was the best game of the season. Now, it's difficult to kind of choose between this game and the Peterborough game because they were 2 completely different games. Today, it was blood, guts, and thunder, and obviously with great football in there as well, all fighting for each other. The Peterborough game was a walk in the park. Now, we played some great football, but it was still a walk in the park. Now, I know that they're down there. they're down there with us and with everybody else, and they're going to be a lot tougher games this season. We're not going to win every game 2-0, but it was a great start. It certainly feels like we can carry on playing like this for the rest of the season. Let me bring up, well, I'll just go through the team quickly now because there's not really any point in talking about the subs. Obviously, Billy Sharp took his goal really well. Sanderberger came on and played a few nice passes, but and Ozzy came on. I don't even think he touched the ball. It was just a bit of a time-wasting thing that we did. I thought that Wes, like I said, had a good game. I've probably talked about a lot of these players already, but Wes had a good game. Solid as usual. I was never worried. A couple of back passes to him that he didn't really want there, especially one on his right foot, I think it was, where he cleared it straight to one of their players in the first half. But goalkeepers don't want back passes. Bogle, I thought, was fantastic on that right-hand side. He's going to get better and better and better, especially playing in a 5 rather than a 3. Especially playing in a 5 rather than a 4 because he's not having to do as much defending. And it looks like him and Morgan Gibbs-White are really, really putting a lovely little partnership together down that right-hand side. So Baldock might have a bit of a struggle on his hands to come back into this side and obviously get his place back. I thought Ender Stevens was one of those that I was a little bit up in the air about because he had an okay game. He played some good passes. He got forward. He some really, really good movement. He was doing what he was doing back in the day, back in the Championship runner-up season and the first Premier League season, where he was getting high up the field, getting balls into the box, but the balls weren't quite good enough at times. And there were a few where he just kind of controlled the ball and it'd fall out of play, or he'd take a bad touch, or he'd put a bad pass in there. But it was certainly better than what it has been recently. The 3 centre-backs, Basham was all over the place, great defensively, and also backed up the play really, really well going forward. Now, to me, he's obviously not playing wing-back. He's not really playing overlapping centre-backs, but he's allowing the centre-backs, the right and left centre-backs, to push on so that the wing-backs can push on even further. I think that is what the usual 5-3-2 is. But obviously, Chris Wilder played it in a different way. But it was nice to see Bash at least kind of joining in with the attack, maybe not going round like we used to see. But it's nice to see Basham up there because Basham's a fantastic footballer for a defender. He really, really is. Egan got his head on absolutely everything, got stuck in. There's not really more I can say about Egan. I thought he had a very, very steady game. Davis had a funny one. Davis was at times very, very good on the ball, but he lost the ball twice today in bad areas. And one of them, he had to pull the man down, which is not like Ben Davis at all, but it was not very good conditions. It was quite slick conditions at times because it was so wet. But at the same time, as a defender, when you're not 100% comfortable on the ball, where there's little fast strikers running around you trying to snap at your heels, it's quite easy just to kind of lose the ball or take a bad touch or something like that. So I think Ben Davis is going to be a great left centre back, but he didn't have the best of games today. He had a mixed bag anyway. Moving into the midfield, I thought Hourihane had the best game he's had all season. I think in the first half he was fabulous. Like, he was getting stuck in. His passing was great. He was getting forward. He was creating chances. He had that free kick that hit the top of the wall that could have gone in. In the second half, it almost looked like he tired in that second half. But it looks like he's wanting to play for Hecky. And I saw something on Twitter before the game that Hourihane has had more goal contributions than any player for Paul Heckingbottom. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% true, but that's what I saw on Twitter earlier. And it just outlined the fact that he wanted to die for Paul Heckingbottom today, it seemed, especially in that first half. Like I say, it looked like he was a bit tired in that second half, and he probably would have come off if Norwood didn't get injured. But Norwood, let's hope Norwood's back in the team next week. Norwood was fantastic today. Like, pinging the ball all over the place. Very, very good in defensive areas as well. Just great to see, putting in some great crosses too. The Norwood of old is back, and if he can keep that form, I'm excited to see what we've got to come as well. Then Morgan Gibbs-White playing on that kind of right wing-ish, if you like. Best performance of the season from him. Even though he didn't score, everything else he did was fantastic. And he could have had 3-4 goals today, but he also could have set up 3-4 goals. Like, none of that actually happened, but it could have easily happened with just like one tiny thing changing, like connecting with the ball a little bit better, finding the back of the net. The player who he's crossed the ball for, putting the ball in the back of the net. He created so many really, really good chances. And his all-round play today was just a joy to watch, like flicking it past defenders, megging defenders. It was almost like at one point he had like 4 men and he was just flicking it through the legs, flicking it round him, pretending to go one way and going the other. And at one point, I think it was the lad that came on, the number 5, he broke his ankles at one point because he just went like that and he was down on the floor. I just love seeing stuff like that. I love seeing great players at Bramall Lane because we've not had that a lot in my lifetime. We've not had really, really fantastic footballers. We've had lots of good, big, strong strikers that score goals, players that like give everything, but we don't see many players like Morgan Gibbs-White. And don't get me wrong, he doesn't not give everything. He really, really does. He gives everything for the cause. And I'm just a massive, massive fan of him. And I hope we can keep him all season, because if we can keep him all season, we have got a chance at the playoffs. We really, really have. If we are playing like this every single week, we have a big, big chance. And then we've got Brewster and McGoldrick. I thought, first of all, McGoldrick was his best game of the season. He's up there for man of the match, definitely. He probably won't get man of the match because he didn't score a goal. But he did everything else really, really well. Really well. And obviously, Billy Sharp's goal was all because of David McGoldrick creating it. But it wasn't just that. He was doing all the right things, constantly being a thorn in the defender's sides, because when you think you've got him, he suddenly just drops his shoulder and goes the other way. And then it's like, oh, God's sake, man. This man, why does he keep moving? He's not the fastest of blokes, but he's really good on the ball. And his hips, he's got snake hips as well. He's a bit like Chris Basham, where he's like, gone that way? Nope, he's gone that way. Love to watch him. I really do. And Brewster, I thought he definitely had a better game today. Scored his goal. It was a really, really fine taken goal as well. And they're the ones you want to see in the back of the net. And what a great finish from him today. I thought his hold-up play got better as well as the game went on. I think early on, he was getting bullied. And then I think towards the end, he was like backing in and giving it back. Yeah, good that he came off, but hopefully he's all right. Hopefully it's just a precaution to get him off the pitch so that he's all right for the next game. And that's it. I think Hecky deserves a massive, massive round of applause, because this side is completely different. It's the same play. That was the exact same team from the Reading game, except for Fleck. That was the exact same team. Am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, same team from Reading. What a difference like a few days makes. Like, he's literally had, 2 days with the players? Maybe 3? No, I think it's probably 2 full days with the players. And look what he's done. Like, he's just completely galvanized them. And, yeah, well done, Hecky. Well done, Stuart McCall. Well done, Jack Lester. You've made this fan absolutely buzzing again, because, yeah, hopefully this is a bit of a turning point, because we've had shocking performances in the past 18 months. Hopefully this isn't just a flash in the pan. We can pick up points against really good teams as well. And yeah, I think somebody said something like 6 or 8 points off the playoffs, which we can't be thinking about playoffs just yet. But it's just great to see us scoring goals and actually winning a game comfortably by more than 1 goal. Anyway, thank you. Oh, I'll bring a few comments on screen first of all. Where are we? I always want to talk positively about the Blades, and it's great to be able to do that after today's performance. Bring on the rest of the season. I love that. Absolutely love that. Better passing forward rather than backwards and sideways. That's what it felt like today. That's what it felt like. McGoldrick is a better winger than striker. I completely disagree with that, mate. You might have a great name, but yeah, it's not what I'm all about. It was exciting listening to commentary today in Cardiff. Looking forward to watching the Blades win at Cardiff. Hopefully that would be absolutely great. Hashtag wet Wes. Love that so much. Do you think that Heckingbottom will recall Jefferson having played him? That's a good point. It's a really, really good point. I don't know. Recalling Jefferson could be an absolute perfect. It could be a great idea, but also it could be a shocking idea as well. If he comes back, he doesn't get games, and then he suddenly ends up on the bench. You'd rather see him at Burton Albion scoring goals, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. Yes, Hursty Games up the blooming Blades. Exactly. It's great to see. McGoldrick in front of goal is. Oh, come on. Why do people have to be negative on a day like today when we've played fantastic football? David McGoldrick has been the best player on the pitch, and all people can talk about is him missing chances. Jesus Christ. Come on, guys. Let's all calm down and not get carried away. Bristol City weren't great, so a sensible question will be, will we win the league by more than less than 100 points? Very good, Hal. Very, very good, mate. We do need to not get too excited about this, because remember when we were super excited about beating Peterborough 6-2. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think everybody remembers that game and how buzzing we were after it, and then we just plummeted. So I can't see that happening now. I feel like we've got a structure. We're playing the way that the fans want to play. We're playing the way that the players want to play. The players are playing out of the skins for Hecky as well. It's what we want to see. And no, I'm very, very excited for the rest of the season now. And hopefully we've got the fans back on side, because I'm certainly back on side with the club. Yeah, I weren't enjoying the games this season, most of them. And it's been very, very boring to watch. And conceding goals left, right and centre is not fun. But the defence looks like they've shut up shop, and it's not happening anymore. That's 3 games on the bounce, conceding 0 goals, clean sheets for Wes. Yeah, let's keep going, Blades, and I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like on the video as well. We appreciate every single like. It helps the video get a lot further. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.